Hey there, girly pop. You're listening to the Cozy Babes Club podcast, and I'm your host, Chloe Taylor, and I am here to tell you,
that you're lying to yourself.
okay, you're lying to yourself. You don't need the rebrand. We talked about that last week. If you missed that episode, make sure you listen to it. You don't need the rebrand. You don't need the grand vision. You don't need to change yourself overnight. You're lying to yourself. And it's all the lies about motivation and starting over and the clean slate. I am so sick and tired of this energy because it's something that I feel like is a trap. It keeps us stuck. Oh, I'm waiting for motivation. Oh, I'm waiting for the inspiration. Oh, I'm waiting for the spark. Oh, I'm gonna just clean all of my social media pages and I'm gonna start over fresh, and that will certainly do it this time. I need you to be with me for this episode while I give you a little bit of tough love, because I've got to tell y'all, Chloe Taylor, she's in her tough love era. I am done coddling myself and I am done making excuses for myself. And so if you sense a major shift incoming, it's because I feel like this is actually who I am. And this is what it looks like for me to pull all the onion layers back and recognize that the bad bitch was always inside me. Okay. Okay. I knew that I wanted to focus this month's content a lot around New Year's stuff and basically discussing what things I think people really miss. Because in the month of January, I hear a lot about the myth of motivation. And I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast before. If we haven't talked about it on the podcast before, I would be surprised because I am somebody that has a very strong opinion about the myth of motivation. Motivation is not real, it is a myth. And also, just as a side note, we're no longer in 2026, in this, the goddess's year of 2026. We are no longer dying on hills. We are killing people on hills. So, the hill I will kill you on, because I am not dying for anybody. I'm not Jesus, okay? The hill I'm going to kill you on is the one that motivation is something you need to wait for it to come. Not in this, the good goddess's year 2026. We are so beyond this. And it pisses me off when I hear it. Oh, if I could just have the motivation. You don't need motivation. What you need is somebody to knock you upside the head. And that's going to be me today. So, motivation, the reason that it doesn't work is because it is fleeting. Motivation, this is something I wish someone had told me. Motivation is fleeting. It will come in supercharged. You feel like you have all this gumption, all this get up and go. Give yourself 3 weeks and all that get up and go is going to get up and leave. Okay. And that is because the only way that you can create consistent motivation is by moving forward. The funny thing that I feel like nobody ever discusses is that motivation, it comes because you are the motivation factory. You're the person that actually generates it. And it's not something that just happens to you. It's usually sustained by discipline. It is sustained by constant, consistent action forward. And when you start to see results from the consistency and the discipline that you actually take the time to put in, that's when you will continue to be motivated. Okay. Motivation is fleeting, and it's also not glamorous, and it's also not cute. There's a lot of parts of no matter what you are working on this year, whether it is building an empire, whether it is losing a bunch of weight, whether it is deciding you want to love yourself more, whether it is overcoming some kind of habit you want to overcome, the only way you're going to do it is most likely in a lot of the unglamorous ways that, we look on social media and we try to look for direction. I'm always going to keep it real with you. I'm always going to keep it 100 with you. Most of it doesn't look like that. It's not these pretty polished morning routines, being a cute little Pilates princess. I'm not saying you can't have those things as part of your day, but most of it is very unglamorous. For myself, like, girl, weighing out my food every single day is fucking ugly. It's ugly rat behavior. It is the reality of somebody that wants to lose almost 100 pounds. Like, that is the reality. I had to make a change so I could see a transformation, and it's not cute and it's not glamorous and it's not social media ready. And I feel like when we take direction from people that seem like they always have it all together, that don't really show all of the real shit, we get this idea that something's wrong with us, that we're not motivated, that we don't have whatever that dog is in us, we don't got it. The reality is consistent, disciplined effort, whether it is glamorous or not, is the thing that will create the motivation. You are the motivation factory. It's not something that happens outside of you. And when you can get that through your head, you will be able to have more sustained motivation because the results will gain you that. I feel like I just said that 3 different ways till Sunday, but I feel like somebody just really needed to hear it. Something I also wish people would have told me when I was struggling in the past with like making my goals actualized. I'm not going to say New Year's resolutions because I want this to really hit no matter when you find this episode, because if you want to get technical, I also don't believe in the myth of a New Year's resolution. I think it can be fun to kind of get involved when everybody else is involved, but you don't need to wait until January 1st. You don't need to wait until the first of the month. You don't need to wait until Monday. This is another trap. This is another way that you do not take responsibility for your life when you need to take radical responsibility for your life, your actions, and your choices. And when you don't do it and you say, like, oh, but I'll wait till the first or I'll wait until after this thing, there's always going to be another event. There's always going to be something in your life that's probably throwing your routines off. There's always going to be something in the way because you'll always find it. And the reality of the situation is New Year's doesn't actually mean shit. It doesn't. We made it up. We made it up. It doesn't mean anything. This moment right now, when you exhale and inhale, is a brand new moment to make a new choice. Right now, literally. Do it with me. Now, taking your next breath. You are renewed. There you go. There is the permission. You are now renewed. You are now renewed. That is the permission. Move forward. Do something right now. Commit to something right now. Commit right now. Do something that would change the course of your life, that is something that you would like to change. If you're somebody that's really addicted to social media, do something right now. Delete the apps right now. If you're somebody that wants to lose weight, go and download the tracker that you're going to use right now. Go and fill up your water cup right now. Like, go and while you're listening to this, put some headphones on and go for a walk around the block. Go buy the food scale if you're going to go that route. If you want to start a business and you keep telling yourself all the reasons that you can't do it, right now, go register the domain. Go start the Instagram page. Go, like, do you see what I'm saying? Use your next breath to be the new beginning. We are no longer waiting. And in the Yapper Girl Corner, we're going to cover like kind of a segment of this. So make sure you stay along for that because I have something really interesting to say about why we're not waiting. But I feel like it's more like Yapper Girl edition. I think the number one mistake that I see people make when they want to actualize their goals, no matter what year it is, no matter when it is people try to change overnight. And this is something that I do not hear enough people converse about. And it's something that happened to me. And I wish we would talk about it. I think you're going to be surprised. There is so much information out there about change your life, imagine who you'll be that person. I myself do this, okay? I still do this. I don't think it is all a bad thing. I do think there are things that work. However, if you are trying to change every single facet of yourself and your life because you are stuck in shame cycles, you are stuck in a cycle of self-loathing, if you try to change every area of your life overnight, I'm not saying it will happen, but there are some people, this was me, that you will end up in a disassociative, depersonalized, mental health fucked up hole. And the reason that that happens is because you shock your nervous system so hard. You inundate yourself with so much, I cannot be this way, I have to be this way. It goes so against your comfort zone that mentally you cannot handle it. I do not recommend this. I think a lot of today's like pop culture manifest your way into this is quite toxic for mental health. I'm not saying this happens to everyone. I do think some people can do things like this and it is okay. But if you are somebody that comes from a traumatized background, if you are somebody that already struggles with these things, hi, it's me. I was the problem. It was me. Without the help of a trained professional walking me through every step of the way or holding my hand while I was trying to incorporate change into my life slowly, I could not do it before. I would literally end up in like a freeze. Like I would end up in nervous system freeze where I felt like I couldn't do anything because it was too dramatic to change myself like that overnight. Now, this is where I feel like people crash out is you try to change everything too fast because you hate yourself. I cannot explain or begin to express, and I get upset about it when I talk about it because this is something that I wish somebody had sat me down and fucking talked to me about. Like, I could cry. It gets me so in my feelings. I'm a Cancer Mars that when I get mad, I start crying. I could cry because I'm so mad. Like, this didn't need to be this hard. And I feel like I have been the poster child for struggling and drowning with this and feeling like it was something that was wrong with me when the reality of the situation is you are never going to self shame and self loathe yourself into the idealized version of yourself that you wish that you were. It doesn't work like that. And the first thing that you need to do is seek professional help. Seek professional help for the shame, for the guilt, for the overwhelming sense of your unworthiness that you feel like you carry. Because once I could get to that, and also like I've been doing trauma therapy for several months now, that has made a huge difference for me. Processing emotions that maybe have been trapped, actually letting them breathe gives you the ability to trust yourself again. Surprise, surprise. I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm not saying that's everybody's experience. I feel like the internet, I have to say those things because so many people will not understand the nuance. And like we have to tell the nuance Nellies to have nuance. My point is, some of this overnight changing shit is not going to work for you. And this is where I see people crash out is you try to do too much too fast. I will give you my own example. In my own life, y'all know I'm on a weight loss journey. I have not given you the ins and the outs and all the little itty bitty details, and I probably will not for the first like 3 months because I need time to really get my routine down. And I want to be sure that I know what the fuck I'm talking about before I just start talking. I've been on a weight loss journey for about a month and a half at this point. It's going extremely well. I'm having a lot of success. But I feel like the only reason it's working and I'm not crashing out is because I started with one area at a time. The first month, I only focused on my food. And prior to my food, I have been in therapy for 4 months, working on the trauma side of that, working on my own self worth, working on all of the things that felt trapped and stuck and made me feel like I was having a freeze response all the time, anytime I wanted to do something. I worked on that first 4 months. And then I was like, okay, I think I can start working on my food. And I also have a trained professional in my corner with me, which I understand not everybody has access to that. I feel very fortunate to have that. I have gone years of my life without having access to this kind of care. So, excuse me while I talk about it, because it is something that I will admit has been a life saving thing for me and it has helped me. I understand it is not always available for everyone and it's fucking unfortunate. Something that also gets me really pissed. I promise the moment I am ever a billionaire, which will never happen because I don't believe in billionaires, it will never happen. The moment I'm a billionaire, I will not be a billionaire because I will be giving my money away to make sure people have help, have psychological care because it has been that transformational for me that the moment I have the ability to start gifting it to other people, I will be. Currently not in that position, but when we get there, bless. This is why it's so important for people that want to do good in the world to actually have money because we could actually create real change instead of just, sending penis rockets into space. Don't even get me started on that. Don't piss me off. Now, a month in, I am working on the physical aspect. So, this is what I mean when I didn't do all that overnight. I didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to track all my food. I'm going to do it all this way. I am also going to move my body this much. I'm also going to completely change my morning and night routines. Like, I didn't try to throw myself into a stress response. And I feel like that rarely works for so many people because it is too much. You will become so uncomfortable. And then when you crash and burn out, you just shame yourself again for not being able to do it, for not having the willpower, for not having the motivation to keep going. When if you actually made it sustainable for yourself, it would last. So that's the shit that I see people doing. And I think it's very, I'm not saying manifestation is toxic because I still use it. I still like it. I think it has its place. But I think if you are coming at it from a place of self loathing and shame, you need to deal with that first and then move in the direction you want to move at the pace that is most comfortable for your nervous system to do it. I think I'm also going to say something out of pocket that I don't know everybody's going to agree with me on, but the girl boss era is dead. It's 2026. The girl boss era has returned. Call me Jessica, okay? The girly pops are saying that the millennial version of Karen is Jessica. So, like, am I a Jessica girl boss? Maybe. No, I will say I don't think that this is the way that it was in 2016, and I don't think it ever will be again. Like, I feel like the girl boss era of 2015, 2016, all of that with like the chevron and the mint green and the marble and the gold everything, that was very unboundaried. That was very, let us all identify with being a girl boss and making ourselves overwork to death. No. The girl boss era can come back, but not without boundaries. And I feel like this is just, this is something that it's motivation that I don't believe in anymore, is like doing something until you just crash out. You know, I think that there is something with over identifying with who you want to become, so much to a point that I think you forget to actually like fall in love with the journey and the process in the middle. But anyways, I definitely feel like something that got me fucked up was this idea that I just needed to rest. I just needed to do things in a feminine way. I just needed to be in my divine feminine. No, I have actually come to the conclusion that I am a happier person in my divine masculine. I am a happier person when I am seeking my goals, when I am in achievements. And I know I'm going like very on the contrary with what you hear most of the time out there in the wild being the internet. It just, I don't know. I feel like I crashed out for multiple years because I lost that part of myself that like wanted to do things. I have a lot of energy. I am like a fucking golden retriever, okay? I wake up in the day and I have so much energy. I am so happy to be alive. I am so happy that I have gotten another day in this on this planet, in this life with the people that I love. That is me as my best self. I am a goal digger. We have talked about this. A GOAL digger, okay? I am a goal digger. And that's the energy I want to be in. I want to exist there. I still read. I still lay in a hammock when it feels good. That doesn't mean that I completely discount the other side of myself. It just means that I make room for both. And I feel like for myself, I wasn't doing that. And it was always this heavy emphasis on rest. You should rest. You should rest. You should rest. Girl, I done rested so much the last 2 years. I think I've like died a little. I am ready to be active. I am ready to be awake with the day and feel like I have a purpose again. And I feel like I am very much in that. So I think I would mostly just say like the kind of motivation I don't believe in anymore is an imbalanced one. On both sides of the spectrum, though, it's an imbalance between overly resting. And I do think that is a real thing. I think that we can convince ourselves that we need to rest when really you're just it's avoidance. You're avoiding the things that you actually would or need to do that would actually improve your life. And on the flip side of that, I also think there's something to be said about over identifying with what you can achieve in this lifetime and like finding the balance in the middle ground between those two things. That's the kind of motivation I'm coming for. I don't want a soft life. I do not crave a soft life. I crave a life where I feel like I have purpose. I have more good days than bad days. And I crave a life where I wake up and there is a dawn in me. That just, I don't know how else to explain it. And when my head hits the pillow, I'm excited for the next day. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see this. I worked so hard that I need to now rest for 3 years just to get better. Like, no, that's just, I don't want that in my life anymore. I do not crave a soft life. I do not crave being soft. I feel like softness led me down a path that I just was the worst version of myself. And I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know how to express it. I don't know I'm actually having a hard time with this. I hope you're feeling that. I don't write really intense notes for my podcast. I write just like bullet points that I can riff off of. And I feel like I'm having a hard time conveying what I mean. Like I feel like this idea of having a soft life where I think maybe I just was sold to it in the wrong way. Like to me, it was like never having to lift a finger. And frankly, no, I got phalanges and I want to use them. What about a strong life? Like, I don't know. And I don't mean strong because I've had to be strong, but like a strong life that is because I put in the consistent and because I put in the consistency and the discipline and the effort. And like, honestly, right now in my life, I feel like I have such a great balance of these things. Like, I told y'all in the last episode, in 2026, the bed rotting era is over. The unintentional bed rot is over. All I want to do is wake up in the morning and get out of that bed. And I still bed rot kind of at the end of my day. I get into bed like 2 to 4 hours before I normally would in the past. And I get that time. That is my time to sip my fucking water or my tea and watch my little shows. And then I go to bed. Like I get to bed rot every day. It just is more intentional and I'm not doing it all hours of my fucking day and feeling miserable and not understanding why my life is not moving forward. Like, I hope this is making sense. I hope somebody out there gets what I'm trying to say. Forcing myself to rest when all I want to do is create and make and do and achieve and be a goal digger. I always tell y'all I'm such a goal digger. GOAL. I'm a goal digger. I love the concept of taking radical responsibility for my life and pursuing my goals. This is something that I have done since the dawn of time. Like, even before I ever had a career, before I was ever on the internet, I have always been this kind of person. And I like this part of me. This is a part of me that I highly identify with. And I let all of this like soft energy into my realm that was like, no, you should rest. No, you should do it this way. The time of achievement is over, blah, 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 blah. That's fine if that works for you, if you're not into achieving things or chasing your goals. I don't give a fuck if that's what somebody else wants to do. But what I want to do is achieve some shit. I want to do some shit. I want to look at something and say, wow, I really did that. And I love, like, I don't know if that's my North Node in Capricorn popping off, okay? But that is like the rise of empires. And it's also in my second house. If any of my astrology people are watching, like anybody that's into astrology, maybe that will tell you a lot about me. But I just don't feel like I came here to play small like that. And I'm not saying that it's playing small to have a soft life if that's what you're into. I am saying for myself, when I am my worst version of myself, that is me playing small. And I don't want to play small. I came here to live a big life. I didn't come here to be comfortable. Another hot take I feel like I have on just like motivation and your goals and all of that, which is kind of what this episode is surrounding, is I would not tell you. I'm going to give you the opposite advice that most people will give. Do not start with your smallest habit. Start with the biggest one. Start with the one that would make the biggest impact on your life. And I say that because it will show your nervous system and yourself that you are able to do the Herculean task. So for me, the two biggest things for this, and it's going to be different for everybody, this might be something you never struggle with. But for me, the two biggest Herculean tasks that felt overwhelming in my life were the way that I was eating and getting to bed at a decent time and waking up at a decent time. These are things that I have struggled with throughout my life, especially my adulthood. The eating started really young, but the sleep schedule started later in my life. And these are things that I feel like I have such a hard time getting a handle on. And now that I have been able to show to myself that I can do the hard thing, I can do the Herculean task, I can do the thing that stresses me out that I always tell myself I can't do. Everything else feels easy. I'm like, oh, I can do anything. I can do these two things and I'm good at it. I go to bed at the same time roughly every night. I get up at the same time roughly every day within like an hour window for the most part. I can do anything. Like that's so where I used to be somebody that would constantly like stress and tell myself all the reasons that I could not do it. And I know I'm just like, you might even ask, like, how did you do that? If you tell yourself you can't do it all the time, how did you even begin? You got to start somewhere. If we're going to talk about my goal of trying to get my sleep schedule correct, the thing that helped me the most, I can't believe I'm going to say this because it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid, and I know I sound stupid. I literally just had to buy a new alarm clock. Stopped using my phone as an alarm clock because that was a distraction at night that I had to learn how to put down. And I bought one of those alarm clocks. I didn't buy the Hatch, which is the one that everybody always recommends, but it's expensive and you have to have an app for it. You can use it without the app, but everybody says it's less good. So I did not buy the Hatch. I'll link the one that I have because I think it's a great product. If you decide to use it, great. This is not like sponsored by them in any way. But it's a similar vibe to the Hatch, but there's no app stuff connected to it. And basically it like puts like a sunlight in your face in the morning and then 30 minutes it like gets brighter over the course of 30 minutes and then an alarm goes off, but they're like gentler alarms. And usually the light wakes me up before the alarm does. So I feel like I wake up gently and it's almost like I wake up on my own terms instead of this like jolt to my system. That actually made a really big difference. I was surprised by what a difference that made. I used to be somebody that was like, no, give me the most annoying alarm sound because I won't wake up. That light right in my face wakes me up every day. That really helped. And also, at night, I only allow myself to read. So for me, it doesn't work for everybody, but for me, reading puts me to sleep. And so it doesn't matter if I'm reading on my phone, I will fall asleep. So I'm either like, sometimes I'll read Reddit when I go to bed, or sometimes not like the news. God, no. You can't be reading shit that activates your nervous system before bed. So like, I don't read the news. I read things that I'm interested in. Or I'll read books on my Kindle or I'll read a physical book. I do a lot of that too. That without fail will put me to sleep every single night. I take my little magnesium glycinate 30 minutes before I want to go to sleep. I will be asleep in 30 minutes. I also think because I move my body more, that has helped me commit to falling asleep because I'm expelling more energy in my day. So it all kind of feeds into itself. But that because I have solved that problem, I trust myself with everything. You guys have no idea what a difficulty that was for me. I know some of y'all don't struggle with that at all, and it's like that's probably laughable, but it just I feel like it genuinely made a difference. It genuinely made a difference, and to me, it was a Herculean task. So getting that to work for myself was step number one, was doing the hardest thing first. And if I couldn't find a solution for it, I had to create a new solution. So not only did I get a new alarm clock and that helped, I made rules around what I could and could not do around bedtime. And I also, if you didn't know, on Instagram, I take a picture every morning. and I say good morning. My goal is always before 9 o'clock. It doesn't always happen, but honestly, anything before 10 is good for me. Because girl, I was sleeping in until like 1, sometimes 4 p.m. So this is a much bigger difference for me. It's been a really good time. So that said, like that also helps me to have accountability because I know other people like see that good morning. Y'all also tell me good morning. So it just like, again, it kind of feeds into itself. It's like a different creative way of doing things. And that has made a difference. I felt like that was Herculean and I did it. So start with the hardest habit first. Start with the thing that you think would be the hardest. Do not give yourself the easy way out because the thing is, I have found that I understand how resilient I am when I am in the pursuit of something difficult. If I do things and I always cherry pick the easiest things, it doesn't prove anything to me. Maybe I'm a hard bitch and I'm just built different, but it doesn't prove anything to me if I'm like, oh, I'll drink a glass of water every day. If that's your thing, like, I'm not trying to pick your hard. Like, that might be a Herculean task for you. For me, have some nuance. For me, that's laughable. I'm like, girl, you drink like 80 ounces or not, if not more, of water a day. If starting your day with a single glass of water is like, that's not hard enough for me. It doesn't make me feel like I did something. But going to bed and waking up at the same time when I have had an entire adulthood where I have never done that, I've been able to get myself to wake up consistently at the same time, but going to bed at the same time every day, this is like the first time in my adult life that that has worked. So it just, like, that's what I'm saying. Pick the harder thing because you will show yourself that you are capable. I also want to say that this episode and the things that I am saying are not for people that want to be martyrs. If you're a martyr, you're in the wrong place. I feel like I have spent so many years, especially in my 30s, being a fucking martyr and being a victim and telling myself all the reasons that I can't get the fuck up and do something. I don't want to be that person anymore. It makes me feel like a shriveled up fucking raisin version of myself. And that's gross. I hate raisins. Literally, I hate raisins. I think they're so gross. I always joke that I'm raisin racist because I like the white grape raisins, but I don't like the other, like the ones that are common. I'm a little raisin racist and I don't be liking I don't, honestly, I'm a craisin bitch. I like craisins. Fuck raisins. I like the dried cranberries, but like I probably only like those because they put sugar in them. Um, but this episode and everything I've been talking about, if you're somebody that wants to stay stuck in your victim mentality, why you can't do things, why your New Year's resolutions never work, why you can't stay motivated, why you can't change, this episode's not for you and none of it is probably going to land. I wanted to make this for people that want to make a change, that want a different life for themselves, that are ready to get up and get moving and just create more energy and create more momentum. And I want to talk about it more in the Yapper Girl corner because there's some astrology that kind of goes hand in hand with this. But ultimately, I just wanted to sit and yap about motivation, why it's bullshit, and why you should just try a different approach because you're going to get a better result if you try. And I hope this helps somebody out. That's my ultimate goal this month is just to kind of yap about certain things that I'm feeling really intentional about this month. And if there's something specific that you're like, I wish you would talk more about this, please tell me down below. And this also seems like a good time to mention to y'all, if you like the show, please consider following my Patreon. It helps me to actually produce these episodes. It helps me to create the sets that I create. It helps me to gather the right equipment. It helps me to get little infographics if I need them made. Like, literally, Patreon is the only reason this podcast still exists because it is a passion project, but I pour a lot of my own resources into it. So if you would like to help me out, if you would like to support me and get some extra content, Patreon is the place to be. We do tarot and astro reports every single month. I also have vlogs most of the time every month that go up there. We have a book club. We're currently reading Activate Your Future Self by Mimi Beauchard, which I think is an excellent start to this new year, especially if you're a goal driven person that is looking to make some changes. It's a great book. We're reading it. It's a good time. And yeah, I would just love to have you there. So definitely check it out. And let's go ahead and talk to Chloe in the Yapper Girl Corner. Okay? Dirty babe. You see these shackles, baby. I'm your slave. Actually, we fucking hate Justin Timberlake in this chat because he just did my girl Brittany, he did so dirty, and I am just having none of that. So even though I love that song, it's very catchy. Anyways, girly pops, welcome to the Yapper Girl Corner. If you are unfamiliar, this is the segment of the podcast where we just kind of yap about whatever. It doesn't go in tandem with what we talked about. This is just like where I get to talk about my life and what's going on, and we get to debrief on things that maybe you have asked about. So first and foremost, spoilers. I will put a timestamp in for this so you can skip it if you have not watched it. I need to debrief on Stranger Things, okay? I'm wearing my Steve shirt. It's my big comfy. I bought it in like a 3X so that I could wear it like a nightgown because Steve Harrington is my favorite character. If you have not watched the end of Stranger Things, skip ahead. So, first and foremost, what even was that fake out? When they tried to pretend that Steve was about to die, they did that because all of us collectively almost wanted to throw things at the screen. So happy Steve Harrington, my beautiful boy. He continued to live on. I love that he now coaches. I love just, I love him. I love him. I'm so happy. I like how the show ended, actually. That's something I really wanted to talk about. So many people were pissed that they left it open about 11. No, I think that was actually the perfect ending because I told y'all that I felt like 11 was going to die. I honestly feel like she should have died. I would have been fine if she did die, because her story needed to end with this. Her story started because of this, and there was nothing else for her to do or anywhere else for her to go. And I feel like for good story writing, it would have made the most sense if she had just died. However, I kind of like the way that they gave her an extra out, and they were like, well, maybe she's alive and this is what she's doing, but maybe we were not going to confirm. I also love how they totally Elphabud. Sorry, I couldn't say it right. They totally Elphabud her. She literally became Elphaba in this scenario from Wicked, and I'm not mad. I thought that was a really funny parallel because that's like a big part of pop culture right now. Overall, though, I enjoyed it. I felt like I am the person, though, that I love a series that wraps up and then like a lot, like they show you a lot after the fact. So this to me is the comparison of like Lord of the Rings 3, for example. In Lord of the Rings 3, the end of the movie, it's like 45 minutes of fluff. Okay. And I love that. I eat that shit up. I am a lover girl to my core. I only become a. Okay. Sorry. I had to move a little bit because my camera died and I didn't realize that I didn't have it plugged in and the plug is over here. Anyways. So where was I going with that? I was talking about. I love a lengthy ending. I love a long ending of going over everything. When the Harry Potter series ended and all we got was them at the train station, that was devastating to me. I was like, really? Everyone's happy and now you just blast me like 20 years into the future? No, unacceptable. I love when things wrap up and they give us a big wide view of what everyone is doing for the like foreseeable future. That makes me very happy. So, I loved this. I thought the ending was spectacular. I don't give a fuck if there was plot holes in it. It was exactly what I wanted to eat and I feel like I was fed well. So, big fan. 12 out of 10, in fact, for Stranger Things. I would watch the series again. I really liked it. And I'm just really happy for my baby Steve. I also wanted to talk to you, girly pops, a little bit about just Valentine's Day things, because I literally am the embodiment of if Valentine's Day and Halloween made a baby. That is me to my core. And I struggle with this because I always want, like, for most of the year, I want to be Valentine's. I want to be red and hearts and pink. Okay. That's my vibe 24/7. And like you will notice that in my everyday things, like my phone case, it's red and pink. It's not over here. Oh yeah, it is. My Stanley that I use most of the time is the red Stanley, and if it's not the red Stanley, I have a pink one. I feel like most of my my purse is a red purse. And I carry that with me everywhere. My coat that I wear the most in the winter is a big furry red coat. I love pink and red. My bathroom is all pink and red, which is like my room. I feel like that's my domain in the house because that's like where I sit to get ready and like primp myself and give in to all of my Venusian nature. But I love red and pink. Red and pink is a color combo, and then anything hearts because I am a lover girl. Big fan. And then every time fall comes around, I'm like, dude, I'm a witch bitch thoughtum girl. I like suddenly I'm gothic. Suddenly I want to wear all black. Suddenly find me all of the black and purple lipstick. Show me all of the dark looks. Even though I don't think they necessarily complement my hair or my complexion, and I am somebody that pays attention to those things for myself, I cannot resist. I cannot resist. And I will say though, I am not, there is a difference between fall and Halloween, and I am fall before I am Halloween. I love Halloween, but fall is really where it's at for me. So, really, it's like if autumn and Valentine's made a baby. That's probably more accurate because I am a burnt orange gold girly, but I like a little bit of the spooky. Like Ghostface is definitely my favorite. And it makes it really hard to pin down an aesthetic for anything because throughout the year, I always want to change it. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe just my, I have to really hand it to one of my friends. She was like, Chloe, just be a 2-season bitch. Like, it's fine. You can just alter your things for 3 months out of the year. And I was like, girly pop, this is why we're friends. Thank you. I needed somebody to say it to me. So I don't know. We might be Valentine's for 9 months out of the year. And then for 3 months, it's fall. That's the vibe that I'm on. But for Valentine's Eve stuff, there was one of you that commented, I can't wait for you to show us like Valentine's stuff. So I will talk about a few things. I did get these tea towels that I showed you in my stories. I got these. I think everything I'm going to talk about came from Home Goods. Every year I do add to my home decor a little bit. I try my best not to go overboard though, because my ideal is to, at the end of my life, have so much decor for every area of my house that if I have multiple children, I hope they fight over it. Like, not really. I hope we divide things out properly, but I just think about in my own life how much of the stuff from my childhood, I don't even think it's around anymore because neither of my parents are super into decorating. And my dad also just like, he's the kind of person where if he gets annoyed by something, he just throws it away. And I'm really trying in my life not to be that kind of person because there are certain things that like Christmas ornaments that I probably will never see again from my childhood because they probably got thrown away. So I don't know. I like to kind of add decor pieces over time that like I will see for several years to come. My potential children will eventually have things like that, you know? So I like to add a few pieces, and I did pick out this really cute cookie jar. I use it for my coffee pods, my like Nespresso pods, and it's cute. It sits out on my little coffee nook. I love her. I also picked out some new towels for my bathroom. These are just going to be in there pretty much year round. They have hearts on them. They're super soft. They are so cute. I'm so happy I found these because I've been on the hunt for a really long time for something like them. So super, super cute. I also got this plug-in from Bath and Body Works, 12 out of 10. This is in my bathroom right now. I've got leaves in it, which is funny because it's like the epitome of me. I've got leaves from Bath and Body Works in it, which is a fall scent, but it's like this Valentine's pink situation. What is going on here? Caleb closed all 3 rings. Well, you know what, Caleb? As soon as I go to edit this, it's going down because I'm going to edit on my walking pad. I'm going to kick your ass. I said what I said. Anyways, what was I saying? I I don't even think Caleb watches my podcast, but that's okay. I still love him. Did I pick anything else up? But the plugin is like the epitome of me. It's this like Valentine's cake, and then it has a false scent in it. So perfect. Love her. Something I feel like I'm really missing right now, though, is I feel like I need to not get rid of the pillow covers that I have because those are great, but I feel like I need to get new pillows to go into the covers on my couch. I'm looking at my couch right now because they're all just like flat. And I feel like I need new cover, like not new covers, but just new insides, like new pillows for the inside. I do pillow covers usually because they're cheaper and I can use them year after year after year and they're washable instead of just spending your money on pillows that you're going to throw away after like 2 to 3 years. I try to get like cheaper pillows inside and then I swap out the covers seasonally for different decor. So it's something I feel like I need, but I don't have. And I also don't have a Valentine's blanket. I have a Christmas blanket, several of them, in fact, that I put out every year. I have, I want to say is that it? Do we only have Christmas blankets? I think we have some Halloween blankets as well, but I don't have any Valentine's blankets, and that seems like a crime. I think I even have a summer blanket that's got like oranges and lemons on it. Like, I am definitely a change my decor out seasonally, and I keep things for the season, but I don't have any Valentine's shit. So I need to think about that. If I don't get it this year, I'll do it next year. Anyways, just one of y'all was asking about it, so I wanted to talk about it. And then lastly, I want to talk about Saturn moving into Aries. So this doesn't happen until I want to say February. It might even be like on Valentine's Day. I want to say there is a major transit coming on February 14th, and it might be Saturn moving into Aries. If not, it's like a little bit later. It might be Neptune into Aries, but regardless, globally, I think this could be problems. I'm not going to talk about that. If you want that content, you got to join my Patreon. Personally, I think this is fantastic. Personally, for me, this is good. I think I've talked about it because Saturn is going to be trine my Jupiter return. And for me, this is amazing. I am being set up for success if I am listening. And collectively, I do think Saturn in Aries it is about building your empire. It is about like building structure around your empire and what is yours. And I feel like that coupled with the fact that we have zero, count them, zero Mars retrogrades in 2026 is insane. That is like one of the best things I think I have heard in many astrological years because Mars, usually when it goes retrograde, we feel like we are stuck and can't move forward. This is like forward momentum all year long. And then to have Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure, moving into Aries, which is like war, forward momentum, not literal, well, I mean, globally, we could talk about that all day. And I'm not saying we're going to war. It doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. I might cut that part out. But Aries is the archetype of warrior. It's the warrior. It's the drive. It is the action, the forward momentum, headstrong. And so I feel like having structure and discipline around that, depending on where Aries falls for you, and again, you can find that on my Patreon, wherever that falls for you, I just see this as a good thing overall. Unless you're going into like a Saturn return, it might be kind of difficult, or you have something in your chart where like Aries is really heavily affected in a negative way. I could see that not going so well, but I feel like for the most part, it's going to give us a lot of forward momentum in something. And I just feel like I have a really good vision up here that I am laying the foundation for right now that I'm just very excited for this time. I think this is going to be a good time for me, and I hope for a lot of the people around me. I mean, my husband is going into his fourth house. I just dealt with all that shit. I had so, oh my gosh, I had so much stuff, still do right now, because it's not all moved, but so much stuff in Pisces in my fourth house on my IC. And that's like the fourth house, if you're unfamiliar, your IC, that is where you have come from in this lifetime. Like it is your roots, your home, your family, structures under you. And I feel like I just got fucking baptized in a non religious way. Like, I feel like I went through some of the most intense emotional pain from childhood trauma, and I have like worked desperately to clear it out. And I feel like I feel better. I feel like I feel better. I feel like I'm on a good trajectory right now. I feel like a lot of good things have happened. And I've been so much more open to life being so much bigger than what I was given and what I started with. So I feel like it was like a really hard couple of years in that, but I'm just so happy for all that shit to be out of my fourth. I don't do well in water houses. I have like a heavy fire signature, which, if you think about that elementally, water just puts fire out. So, like, I do not do well with not water signs. That's not the problem. Like a Cancer. Oh my God, I love Cancers. Cancer is the elite water sign. You cannot convince me otherwise. Love a Cancer. Love a Cancer anything. Rising, sun. The moon, I feel like I could have some conflict with, maybe, but I still like them too because it's like a really nice placed moon. But regardless, I feel like whenever I go through like heavy water transits, I don't do well with that. Okay, I'm drowning. I'm not swimming. I'm getting fucking my fire snuffed out or like washed away. And I don't like that shit. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good. That's going to be like your fourth, your 12th, and your 4, 12, and 8. Those are the fourth house, the eighth house, the 12th house. Those are all water houses. And I feel like anytime I go through a heavy water house situation, I'm just like very displeased. So, really happy to be in a fire starter. Like, this feels like it's my time. This feels like my energy. And it feels good and it feels correct. So, I'm excited about Saturn moving into Aries. What I was talking about earlier about how, like, I think this will be good for forward momentum and forward motivation for people is this transit. Hi, meaties. Hi, bud. Do you want to say hi to the podcast? You want to say hello? Come here, buddy. Oh, come here. Yes, this is my child. His name is Archimedes. You probably know him. Y'all see my cats when I'm out here recording. You see my cats around the podcast a lot, but this is my child. Like, I have 3 cats. This one, though, is my child. This is Archimedes. He's the baby. I'm the baby of my family, too. Anyways, he said no. You want down? Anyways, y'all, I'm going to get the hell heckety hey out of here. Next week, we should be back into my office recording. It's under construction. It's under construction because the tinsel was making my cats crazy. It's also not good for cats. And specifically on one of the walls where the tinsel was placed, it made it too easy for them to access it. And I was just having problems with that because they were like ripping it down, and tinsel is very dangerous for cats. So just in order to be safe for my animals, I've been keeping that door shut, not letting them in there for over a month. And I just got like curtains, and then I've cut the tinsel and like found a way to make it stay to the wall where they can't touch part of it. And that is just under construction right now. So next week we should be back in the office where it's all pink and pretty. But we've been in the living room this past 2 episodes because that's just where I needed to be for this. But anyways, I hope y'all are having a fantastic week. I hope this episode helped somebody out there. Please do not forget, when you stand in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And follow your plan and not your mood. Okay? Every time. Bye.